Hello students, today we will be studying histology of the muscle tissue part 1. Now muscle tissue is a contractile tissue. Myocytes are the cells of the muscular tissue. They are seen in the form of muscle fibers. They are elongated or spindle shaped. Muscles are derived from the mesoderm. In the myocyte, the plasma cell is known as the sarcolemma. Cytoplasm is called as sarcoplasm. Endoplasmic reticulum is called the sarcoplasmic reticulum, and the mitochondria are called as the sarcosoma. Classification of muscle. Histologically, the muscles are classified into skeletal muscle, cardiac muscle, and smooth muscle. Striations. These are the specific arrangements of contractile proteins in the sarcoplasm, giving rise to transverse striations. These are seen in striated muscles, examples being skeletal and cardiac muscles. Non-striated muscle, example being the smooth muscles, they have contractile proteins, but they lack a specific arrangement in the sarcoplasm. Classification of muscles. Physiologically, the muscles are classified as voluntary muscles, which include the skeletal muscles, and involuntary muscles, which include the cardiac and the smooth muscle. This classification depends on the voluntary control over the muscles, on our will. Skeletal muscle, also known as striated muscle because of the presence of striations, and also known as voluntary muscle because these muscles are controlled by our own will. They are responsible for locomotion due to its attachment to the skeletal tissue. Each muscle fiber here is elongated, unbranched, and multinucleated. The nuclei are flat and placed at the periphery of the cell, just under the sarcolemma. The skeletal muscle fibers show transverse or cross striations, having alternate dark and light bands. The connective tissue of the skeletal muscle is made up of endomysium, perimysium, and epimysium. Endomysium is a layer of connective tissue made up of reticular fibers that covers an individual muscle fiber. A number of muscle fibers together form a muscle bundle or a muscle fascicle. Perimysium is a layer of connective tissue that covers the muscle fascicle. Epimysium is a layer of connective tissue that covers the entire skeletal muscle. Blood vessels and nerve fibers are present in all these layers of connective tissue. The sites where we see skeletal muscle in the body: skeletal muscles, tongue, esophagus, and the diaphragm. This here is a low power view of longitudinal section of the skeletal muscle, and what we see here are the individual muscle fibers, elongated, cylindrical, unbranched. We do not appreciate the nuclei that well here. This is another picture showing you the low power view of the skeletal muscle, LS. We can see parallel running muscle fibers, unbranched muscle fibers. This is a high power view of the skeletal muscle. We see individual muscle fiber. We can also appreciate the flattened nuclei that are placed at the periphery, and we can also see the striations. Another high power view showing us the nuclei which are placed at the periphery, and we can also appreciate the striations here. The salient features for spotting for skeletal muscle longitudinal section are presence of long cylindrical muscle cells. Muscle cells are multinucleated, nuclei lie at the periphery, and presence of alternate dark and light bands or presence of striations. Let us see a skeletal muscle transverse section. This is a hyper view of the skeletal muscle transverse section, where we can appreciate that this is an individual muscle fiber and we see the flattened nuclei here placed at the periphery of the cell. We can also appreciate the endomysium here, a covering of connective tissue around an individual muscle fiber. What we see here is a group of muscle fibers arranged as a muscle fascicle, and we also see the connective tissue around an individual muscle fascicle, which is the perimysium. If we would have been able to visualize the entire muscle in one view, we could have also been able to appreciate the connective tissue covering the entire muscle, and that was the epimysium. So endomysium, perimysium and epimysium are best seen in a transverse section, and transverse section also shows us clearly that the nuclei, which are multiple in each muscle fiber, lie peripherally just underneath the sarcolemma. The salient features for spotting for skeletal muscle TS are presence of muscle cells with nuclei placed at the periphery, arranged as muscle bundles or fascicles, presence of perimysium around the muscle fascicles, and presence of epimysium covering the entire muscle tissue. Let us now see the types of skeletal muscle fibers. Based on the diameter and color of the muscle fiber, skeletal muscle fibers are classified as red, white, and intermediate. Red fibers are also called as type 1 fibers or slow oxidative fibers. Intermediate fibers are called as type 2A fibers or fast oxidative fibers, and white fibers are also called as type 2B fibers or fast glycolytic fibers. The type 1 fibers, these are red fibers. They contain large amounts of myoglobin and mitochondria. They are slow twitch fibers. They contract slowly. They are resistant to fatigue. They produce less force of contraction but produce prolonged contractions. And examples are postural muscles, muscles of the back and limbs. The type 2A fibers, these are intermediate fibers, medium-sized fibers having large amounts of glycogen. They can undergo anaerobic glycolysis. Type 2B fibers, these are thick and white fibers. They contain less amount of myoglobin and mitochondria and high amount of glycogen. They are high twitch fibers that can generate a high force of contraction. They generate energy for anaerobic glycolysis, hence they fatigue rapidly. Seen in muscles that require more precision and fast actions. Examples, muscles of the eyeball and fingers. Let us see differences between the red muscle and the white muscle. Type of fiber in red muscle is type 1 or slow oxidative fibers. In white muscle, they are type 2B or fast glycolytic fibers. Fiber diameter in red muscle is small, in white muscle these are large. Color in living is red in red muscle and is light pink in white muscle. Force of contraction in red muscle is weak, in white muscle is strong. Fatigability, the red muscle is resistant to fatigue while the white muscle easily fatigues. Myoglobin is more in red muscle and less in white muscle. Mitochondria are more in red muscle, less in white muscle. Glycogen less in red muscle and more in white muscle. The blood supply is rich in the red muscle and poor in the white muscle. Nerve supply is done by small nerve fibers in the red muscle and by large nerve fibers in the white muscle. Examples where we see these type of muscles in the body, red muscle is seen in the postural and limb muscles, while the white muscle is seen wherever precise and rapid actions are required. So they are seen in precise and rapid acting muscles, and those are muscles of the eyeball and fingers. Thus, we have seen the features of general classification of muscles, and we studied the skeletal muscle longitudinal section, which is an exam slide, in this part of the video. In the second part of the video on histology of muscle tissue, we will study the cardiac and the smooth muscle fibers. For further reference, you can refer to Sontakke Yogesh, Textbook of Human Histology, CBS Publishers and Distributors Private Limited, New Delhi, 2020, page numbers 92 to 105. Thank you.